It was another dazzling evening at the Orion Club, the kind of place where power and privilege mixed as smoothly as the top-shelf liquor being poured. Nestled in the heart of Los Angeles, the club exuded elegance, its chandeliers sparkling like stars above the elite of the city. Tonight, as always, the air buzzed with hushed deals, knowing glances, and the clinking of crystal glasses filled with spirits worth more than some people's rent. Mark Sullivan, the billionaire owner, strode in like a monarch returning to his palace. His tailored suit, the sharp glint in his eyes, the way people unconsciously stepped aside as he passed. It all spoke of a man who was accustomed to getting his way. He surveyed the room, nodding slightly at a few familiar faces before making his way to the bar. Behind the counter, Jake Turner moved with practiced ease. 3 years into the job, he had become a favorite among the regulars, known for his quick wit, efficiency, and the uncanny ability to remember everyone's drink preferences. But none of that mattered tonight. Sullivan leaned on the bar, tapping his fingers impatiently. "Whiskey. Neat?" His tone wasn't a request, it was an expectation. Jake nodded, reaching for a bottle of Macallan. He poured the rich amber liquid into a crystal glass, setting it in front of Sullivan with the practiced precision of a professional. Sullivan lifted the glass, took a sip, and immediately scowled. "Too warm." He set the glass down harder than necessary, a quiet challenge in his expression. "I don't pay you to make mistakes." Jake met his gaze evenly, his voice steady. "I can fix that, sir." He reached for another bottle, ready to make it right, but Sullivan wasn't interested in a fix. His decision had already been made. He waved his hand dismissively. "You're done here. Pack your stuff and go." A stunned silence settled over the room. Conversations halted. Glasses paused mid-air. The regulars exchanged glances, trying to gauge whether this was another one of Sullivan's notorious power plays, or if Jake had truly lost his job over something so trivial. Jake swallowed hard. The weight of the moment pressed against his chest. His wife, his kid. The bills that wouldn't stop coming. The thought of walking through his front door with nothing but bad news made his stomach twist. But what choice did he have? He exhaled slowly and reached for his apron, beginning to untie it. Then, from the far end of the room, a voice cut through the tension. "That's not right." Murmurs rippled through the crowd as heads turned toward the speaker. Stepping out from a dimly lit booth was Keanu Reeves, his presence quiet yet commanding. His casual demeanor contrasted with the opulence of the club, but in that moment he held the attention of every soul in the room. Sullivan arched an eyebrow. "And who are you to tell me how to run my business?" Keanu reached the bar, placing a reassuring hand on Jake's shoulder before turning to face the billionaire. His voice remained calm, but there was an unmistakable firmness to it. A guy who knows respect when he sees it, and when he doesn't. The air crackled with tension. Sullivan, a man who thrived on dominance, was clearly unaccustomed to being challenged, let alone in front of an audience. His lips curled into a smirk as if amused by the defiance. "Fine," he scoffed, waving a hand dismissively. "If you care so much, why don't you hire him?" Keanu didn't miss a beat. "You know what? I will." He turned to Jake. "How'd you like to work for me?" Jake blinked, his mind struggling to keep up with what was happening. "Are you serious?" "Completely." Keanu's lips curled into an encouraging smile. "You deserve better." The crowd erupted in murmurs of approval, then applause. Within minutes, social media was flooded with posts from witnesses, their phones having captured every second of the dramatic exchange. To Keanu saves, Jake began trending worldwide, and as the story spread, public opinion swiftly turned against Sullivan. The next day, Jake found himself behind the bar again, this time at an exclusive event hosted by Keanu himself. And as for Sullivan, His club suffered an unexpected backlash, with people boycotting the Orion Club in protest. The once thriving business saw its clientele dwindle, proving that in the modern world, reputation was as fragile as a house of cards. That night had begun with an injustice, but it ended with an unexpected victory, one that Jake and the world wouldn't soon forget.